Hi, everybody. Good afternoon to you. So it's a beautiful day here in Oregon. And I came to you guys previously and told you that I was very interested in covering some new people here on my channel. There was one in particular that really caught my interest. It was it was a video that went viral. It was a video of a woman and a man in a car, and there was a live stream going on and people were donating money. And during this live stream, the woman in the vehicle, she basically physically assaulted the man. Like, while she was driving, while the car was in motion, she just reached over and popped somebody in the face. And that led to a whole lot of everything, which we'll get into later. I was in absolute shock looking at this piece of video. I just couldn't believe somebody would do that. Not only did she commit battery on this person, but after doing it, she just went on like it was no big deal. Like, making the duck faces and the duck lips and, not normal behavior. Just putting on a show for the camera after hitting somebody. It made me curious about who this woman was. I wanted to know more about her. So I dove down the rabbit hole. I'm not even all the way down into the darkest point of it all. And everywhere I turn, it's like, wow, wow, wow. I mean, this woman is awful. She is so awful. I know a lot of people on YouTube right now in the lolcow community, a lot of people are into naked and laughing. But let me tell you, this person, and her name is Elisa, she is, in my opinion, I think she's worse than Naked and Laughing Jessica. Let's put it this way. If Naked and Laughing were a bit more attractive, if she stopped doing the party favors and the chemicals and the drinking, and if she got a rich benefactor, she would be Elisa. There's still problematic behavior there, but there's just a lot to go through. Not only is Elisa guilty of battery, which she went to jail for, the incident that you're going to see today, she went to jail for, but she is just a straight up awful, toxic person. And there's even one piece of video that I found going on YouTube where, she is guilty of taking advantage of the mentally challenged. And we're going to get into that too. I made a promise to all of you that if I was covering a topic or showing something that might be triggering to all of you, that I would let you know ahead of time. And so I am. I want to be responsible about this. I certainly don't want to upset anybody unnecessarily. The fight in question, where there is going to be the most physical altercation, I'm saving that till the end of the video. We're not putting it at the front. We're not putting it at the middle. It's going to be at the end. I want to show some videos first to give context, to give you guys an idea of who Elisa is and what she's about before we get into the big fight. But before the fight happens, I will let you know again that what you're about to see, and that way if you don't want to watch, you don't have to watch. But this is kind of an introductory type video. I want to introduce you to this person and the different side characters that go with her. So just to give you an idea of who she is and what she's about, like, this is kind of like an introductory type of thing. And then later on, we'll do more of her content. You'll get an idea of a grasp of who she is. Because there is herself. There is this rich benefactor of hers. His name is Z-Scorro. I believe that's his name. The interesting thing about this story, y'all, is neither one of them are nice people. Neither one of them. Neither Elisa nor Z-Scorro are nice. And whenever they get together, they fight. In my opinion, it's strictly a money relationship. He gives her the money. She wants the money, so she keeps him around. I don't think there's any romantic feelings. There never has been. There probably never will be. She just tolerates him because he gives her the money. Let me just gather my notes. I've got some notes here on this whole situation that I was taking. So let's just go with the notes first. Okay, so who is Elisa? Elisa Jordana. She used to work for Howard Stern. She used to be a writer for Howard Stern. She does live streams on YouTube. She likes to find men with money to keep around her and control. Very narcissistic, very vain. The attack that happened in the car was over some alleged cheating. She was arrested for the incident. She got a battery charge, and she's 41 years old. So this person, Z-Scorro, the man, the one that's giving her the money, like I said, he is not nice. From what I've seen of all the videos, he and Elisa, they pretty much hate each other. He gave Elisa I've heard different amounts. I've heard $100,000. I've heard several $100,000. I've heard $1 million. I've heard 2 million. So I don't know where the amount stands right now, but he gave her a lot of money not to stream anymore, and yet she keeps streaming. He started giving her little donations, and then the donation amounts would start to increase. Interestingly enough, he would give her this money, but then he would call in, and she would let his voice be heard, and he would just say the most awful, disgusting things to her, like just calling her names. Very strange. He's saying these hateful things, and yet he continues to give her money. He's a bit of a hothead. I've also heard, but I cannot confirm, that Z-Scorro, he does allegedly have issues, that he might be potentially, he's autistic, OCD, anxiety, he has MS, but he does fight a lot with her. Now, before we get into the fight, and that's not till much later, there's a third character which needs to be mentioned very briefly. Like the Sarah situation, because a woman calls in, her name is Sarah. She called in and let Elisa know that she got thousands of dollars from Z-Scorro, and that is basically why Elisa got angry and she exploded on Z-Scorro. Should she have done that? No, nobody should be putting their hands on anybody else. There's other ways to handle it. You didn't handle it the right way, Elisa. But yeah, that's you're going to hear this person named Sarah and wonder, who is this? What's going on with that? Sarah is somebody that got lots of money from Z-Scorro, and that's what set her off. So that's a little bit of backstory, a little bit of context. But I want to show a series of videos. So we're not going to get into the fight video, which has gone viral right away. We're going to save that for the last part of the video, because that is pretty extreme. I want to start off with showing the context of who Elisa is and who Z-Scorro is and their relationship. And you guys are going to see they're very prickly with each other. I don't understand why a man who's got so much money would want to be around or give money to a woman that treats him with such disdain. But hey, maybe he likes that. I don't know. So let me just go ahead and pull this up. And I want to give full credit to the people that put out these videos. And I'm going to leave a link for all the videos used here. This one is from KERMIT and Friends Zone. And the title of the video is called The Complete Story of Elisa Jordana and Z-Scorro, or Z-Scorro. Like, just to give you guys a brief overlay of these two, because, like we need to know who the characters are and what parts they play with each other, right? So here we go. Let's start with that one first, and I will give my thoughts as we go. All right, let's do this.
Small few know the full history between these two. As someone who has covered Elisa's content for many years now, I know the full story, and I'm here to present it to you as I see it.
And thank you for that, Kermit, because I'm just jumping into this rabbit hole. She just recently got on my radar, so I don't know what's going on here. So if you can fill in the blanks for me, hey, thank you so much. But I will leave a link for your video in the description for anybody who wants to dive into this rabbit hole on their own time, because I'm sure you've got lots of information that I don't have. I'm just new to the party, but you've been at the party for the longest.
For those unfamiliar with Elisa, she is best known for being a writer and often guest on the Howard Stern Show. She was also in the band Cobra Starship and starred in the reality TV show Redemption Song. After leaving the Stern Show in 2015, Elisa began her own podcast titled KERMIT and Friends. It was a variety talk show that revolved around her dog Kermit meeting new people all over the world through a streaming website called Spreecast. The podcast eventually evolved into more of a drama-based show, with Elisa and her then boyfriend Benji Bronk being the focal point.
Yeah, I've heard that she dated this person, Benji, but I wasn't sure who that was or what was going on there.
After a year, Elisa quit the podcast and moved to Los Angeles when she was cast on the show Vanderpump Rules. When she didn't find success on the show, she then entered the commodities business and became successful at that. Then in late 2020, following the COVID shutdowns, Elisa decided to bring back KERMIT and Friends. This time around, her on-again, off-again engagement to Andy Dick became the main ongoing storyline on the show. Eventually, they called it quits for good, but Andy still relied on Elisa to help him out whenever he was in trouble. One weekend, Andy was in Las Vegas and got beaten to a bloody pulp.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that would come up on the screen. We're going to get past that. That's a little much, a little extreme right there.
Her live views jumped to hundreds and her replay views jumped to thousands, while she was also consistently clearing nearly $1,000 per stream from TTS donators. Scorro's backstory will be a little less detailed. He's the son of an Iranian billionaire and claims to have had MS since he was 18 years old. Due to this, he's been mostly homebound his entire adult life, pretty much living his entire life on the internet.
You know, like, I don't know exactly when this video clip that you're showing, Kermit, I don't know when it occurred, but there's so much going on here as far as body language. In every clip that I've seen of Elisa, like, she's always got her face in the camera. She's always looking at herself, you know, like, talk about self-love. She is in love with herself. Like, she's doing her thing over on one corner of the couch and he's over on the other side of the couch. She's not trying to bring him in or do anything with him. It's just like, it's all about her. It's all about her. There's so much vanity going on here.
Scorro says he makes the majority of his money through stock trading, but it's mostly believed that Scorro receives all his funds from his father. Scorro has been donating to Twitch cam models for years now, very large amounts. One day he was browsing YouTube and saw a video about Elisa. This led Scorro to Elisa's channel in August 2023, and thus it all began. Scorro first donated to Elisa while she was visiting Stuttering John Melendez. He started with $50 bombs, which is a large amount for one donation.
You know, I'm having to wonder if whatever time that Elisa spent on the Howard Stern show, for those that don't know about Howard Stern was a bit of a shock jock back in the 80s. Before he became a judge on America's Got Talent, he was a well-known shock jock with a shocking radio show. That's basically where he got famous. And I don't know exactly what Elisa did on the show, what duty she had. I've read that she was a writer for a while. But I'm wondering if she was on the Howard Stern show, watching things, listening to things, and maybe she decided to take a little bit of that kind of style and put that towards her own streaming, just do shocking things and cause controversy and drama. And that's why she gravitated towards Z-Scorro, because the fighting and the friction and people calling him because they didn't like him, you know, all that did was just garner her more attention.
Most fans donate $3 or $5 at a time. So Scorro stood out instantly, donating $50 a few times. Very soon it would grow much bigger.
Yeah, look at that. He went from $50 all the way up to $1,000, but guess what? It's going to get bigger. Watch.
$100, $500, $1,000, $5,000,
Yep.
$10,000, $25,000. It was crazy how much he was contributing. Elisa was, of course,
I watched the video clip when she was streaming and this happened. And I noticed as soon as he sent $25,000, like her whole demeanor changed. Like, oh, I just got sent $25,000. Like she was like, oh, who are you and what do you look like? It was just so icky, you know, how like she went from like saying awful things to him to as soon as she got that money, boy, her demeanor changed.
With him for this, as he was providing financial security for her and also riling up her audience with speculation whether or not the donations were real. Elisa's IRL streams are different from others in that she takes phone calls from her fans during the broadcast. Scorro started calling in, and there were issues almost right off the bat. Scorro calls everyone retards and cunts.
Oh, again, I'm so sorry about that R word. Remember, it's not me using it. I don't approve of that R word at all. Not at all. It's a very ugly word. Very ugly.
And he would talk that way to Elisa often.
Yeah, that was something else I noticed. Like I spent a few days doing my homework, doing my research, and it's so weird to me that you've got this gentleman. He's got a lot of money. Obviously, he's got a lot of money if he's sending $1,000, $500, $10,000, $25,000. Obviously, he's got money, and he's giving money to a woman that when he calls in, he's cursing her out. I don't understand that kind of dynamic at all. Is that part of his, is it a kink? I'm going to give you money so that when I call in, you'll let me berate you and ridicule you and embarrass you and put you down. Like, is that the arrangement? I don't know. But it's just, why would someone who's got lots and lots of money spend their money on someone that they don't 100% like? I just don't, I don't get it.
Whether he was insulting her fans or insulting Elisa herself, he was nonstop with the vile language.
Yeah, here we go. So he's about to do it. Foul language incoming.
To anyone. I was in text. He was like, "Oh, it's so bad that like all these losers you know about." And then this dumb cunt has never said no to anyone. And how many things am I supposed to overlook?
Now, keep in mind, she is a streamer. I don't know if she was streaming on YouTube for this or Twitch. I think it was Twitch because of the way that the streaming format is. And when somebody donates, like the text and stuff that comes on the screen, if you've got somebody that's sending you donations or they're contacting you and you don't want them to contact you anymore, all you got to do is block them. So all of this harassment that she was getting from Z-Scorro, all these ugly words and all these ugly things, all she had to do was block him and be done with him and keep it pushing. But she didn't. She didn't block him because if she blocked him, there goes the money train. Plus, on top of the money, he was bringing drama to her show. He was bringing attention and controversy, and she honestly wanted it, in my opinion.
You think here I can't get another person? The more I'm nice to this dumb.
Look at her. Like, he's sitting there cussing her out, and she's just like, you know, looking in the camera, making faces at herself, trying to look all cute.
The more she fucking cuts me in public. And guess what? Weezy's right, the Sparta's right, this guy's right. They're all normal, Elisa. You're the crazy cunt. Didn't you tell me right now, Elisa, to call in because you were going to apologize?
I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry.
Like a goddamn retard that you are.
What's up?
Again, I hate that R word. I'm sorry for anybody that heard it and you're offended. Remember, it's his mouth. It's not mine. And I do not approve of the things coming out of his mouth. Totally offensive. Like I said, neither Elisa nor Z-Scorro they're not nice people. They're both rotten. They both are. But despite the fact that he's rotten and she's rotten, what happened in the car with the fight, she has no business putting her hands on him. And here's the scary thing. Had there not been a live stream, had that fight occurred with the camera off, the ending could have been a lot different. Instead of her being arrested and charged with battery, she will probably lie to the cops and say, oh, he did something to me. Did he take things a little too far? Yeah, he did. I mean, like I said, they both could have handled things a lot differently. If she was mad, if he was mad, they could have handled things a lot differently. If she was mad at him, she could have looked at him and said, "Look, I'm angry at you, and I need to control my temper. So please get out of the car and find a taxi and go home. I can't have you here, or something's going to happen." Or the moment she touched him, he could have gotten out of the car and said, "Hey, pull over. I need some space." They both could have handled things differently. They both took things too far.
Yeah,
I did it.
They're not asshole.
What? I did it.
Even the entire chat was laughing at me, you fucking retard. Who
Huh?
said
I hate the fact that he uses that word. I so hate it. Stop that, Z-Scorro. My God, control your mouth, sir.
I'm the biggest, best asset that she has. And as soon as I'm asleep, you fucking dumb cunt.
See, he strikes me as one of those guys that if he gives you a lot of money, he feels like he owns you. Like now that he's giving you a lot of money, he can talk to you any way he wants. He can do whatever he wants. And you know what? For her part, she's not putting her foot down and showing otherwise. She's letting this continue. She's allowing him to call in, because if he calls in, he's got access to her. He might give her more money. So she's allowing this to happen.
I've asked you 10 fucking times not to introduce cancer in my life. You go, oh, you're such a menace. Menace to what, asshole? Do I need extra, like, shit to deal with, dumb cunt? You go, oh, you don't like him because he's in Florida. No, asshole. He's a fucking cancer person who constantly lied about me. And yeah, it is so nice that someone who wants to fuck you. But you
Like I told you, these two have such an awful dynamic. Awful. That they go at each other tooth and nail. It's like, why do you two bother with one another? You don't like her. She doesn't like you. You guys can see her face right now. Like, she is so over him. Money or not, she is over him. So it's like, why didn't somebody, anybody, both of you just cut the cord and cut off contact? This is insanity. Why continue this? It's toxic.
you're too fucking, like, histrionic and too much of a fucking e-whore. Not to say, hey, man, I don't want to fuck you. I don't care about your attention, right? So you still take calls when you say I'm asleep. Fucking keep laughing, chat is laughing at me. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to drive by.
And again, she could just cut this off right now. She's not doing it.
You know, get your number. And, well, yeah, what is the joke exactly? And it's not like I fucking told you not to fucking do it 10 fucking times. You understand the fucking song means nothing to me, right? You fucking disrespected me 10 fucking times over your fucking cancer shit when you on a daily basis you tell me I'm fucking right. Cut it out, dumbass. And you embarrass me in public, you gotta suck my fucking dick in public, man. Do it properly.
I'm telling you, like, it couldn't be me. I don't care how much money you pay me. You're not talking to me like that. Like, that would have been cut off like 10 minutes ago. Bye. Like this, no, goodbye. We're burning the bridge and I'm not walking past it no more, but she's putting up with it. She wants the money just that badly.
Properly, or I told you, not fucking like putting up with this shit, dumbass. What is this? I don't need it. Keep your cancer to yourself. Best thing you can do. Don't spread it.
Still, though, Elisa looked past it. Can you blame her? If someone was paying you
Look, after all of that, and he's still giving her money, and she's still letting him.
thousands of dollars a day just to call you a cunt over the phone, would you not take that deal? I think 99% of the population would. The generosity became so overwhelming, though, that Elisa caught real feelings for the guy despite his constant verbal abuse.
No. I'm very sorry, Kermit. I apologize. I'm gonna have to strongly disagree with you. I don't think she ever caught real feelings for Z-Scorro. I don't think that the attraction was real. I'm not picking up that love energy. What I'm picking up is she's looking at him as financial security, and he's got access to a lot of money, and he's giving her a lot of money, and she's deciding, you know what, I want to take this cow and put it alone in a pen where only I have access to it and no other female can get to it. So I'm going to do what I need to do to lock it down so that only I have access to the milk. That's what that's about. I mean, even if there was some sort of physical attraction between them, man, they're like oil and water. Like, how do you even get past that level of prickly hate and just the personality clash and everything? You just combative, volatile. There's no way to really get past it. It's too huge.
They even had a wedding where High Pitch Eric ordained their unofficial marriage.
To love and to cherish, so that do part.
I do.
Okay. Scorro.
Now we got
Are
to
you
see.
okay, Elisa? To be your love?
Well, I hate to break this to you, Elisa. If you married him for money, if it's not an official wedding, girl, if you got plans to be a gold digger, that's not going to get it done.
We wasn't right to have the whole of this day forward, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, and sickness, and health to love, to cherish the gift. Do you
I
part?
can't understand what's being said.
The thing is, to this point, Elisa still hadn't really seen the guy. The only
What? 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 She married a guy she hadn't even seen yet? Oh my God. What is wrong with these women? Oh Lord.
only pictures he sent her was when he was in his teens and early 20s.
She actually got unofficially married to a guy she had never seen before? Huh? What in the mail order bride nonsense is this?
It wasn't until November when Scorro finally FaceTimed Elisa.
No, I'll show it. I'll show it. Wants me to show it, so here it is.
I don't know. I love my Elisa.
Did I see that? Did I see that?
Look at her face. So this is the first time that they're FaceTiming each other. Does this look like the face of a woman who's falling in love as we speak? Like she's looking at him and she's feeling the vibe and she's, like there's synergy and there's passion and there's fire. Look at her face. She's like, ugh. That's what he looks like. She's got that look, man. Like she is just like, I guess this is what I have to do. He's giving me the money. Look at her face. Look.
Despite not being too thrilled with what she saw, Elisa still felt like she owed it to Scorro to fly out and meet him. So she flew from Florida to Los Angeles and they met for the very first time. Things seemed to start off well, but then they had a stream together. Scorro did his best to dress up, but TTS became relentless with their jokes on him, and he got very upset, threatening to call the cops on Elisa if she didn't shut the stream down and leave his apartment.
Fuck you, bums. Okay, fuck you, bums. Anyone wants to call up, you shut the fuck up. Let me answer them.
Okay,
And
fine.
Wow. Girl, you put up with that nonsense? You really did that? You put up with him talking to you like that? It's your stream and he's telling you to shut up? For real, that just happened. Whose stream is it? Man, the things that some people will do for money, the things they'll put up with.
literally all of you, add up your cumulative wealth.
You know what, though? Can I just give my thoughts right now? If she was interested in him as a person, for real, like really interested, this is their first time meeting. Why did she have to turn her stream on? If you are truly interested in this man, why not keep the camera off and talk to him? Get to know him. Let him get to know you. And there won't be the added pressure of the camera being on. Just talk as normal people do. You don't have to live stream everything. But you decided to turn the camera on, and obviously this is irritating him. why not turn the camera off if it's making him uncomfortable? Is he a nice person? Oh no, he's not nice. But then again, neither are you. But if somebody is saying, I'm not comfortable with the stream being on, it's making me irritated, people are saying all these things and I don't like it, that's when you turn the camera off and just get to know the person without turning it into a monetization type of thing.
And intelligence, idiots, and think to yourself. I ask this all the time. You ever been top 10 in anything in your dumb lives? Mine is 10 with 16 zeros, pleb. So you think you're not impressive? I have news for you. You're not impressive. I'm impressive.
Okay.
I'm 10 with 16 zeros.
Okay.
What are you?
Not bad.
Right.
Okay, you know what? If I had that dude in front of me right now, I'd want to ask him one question. If you're so impressive, if you're so the man, why did you give her so much money? Clearly, she's not into you. She wasn't into you then. She's not into you now. Why do you continue to hang out with her? Make it make sense. If you're well-to-do, if you're wealthy, you got your own deal going on, why not find someone that's really into you, that you're not fighting with? You don't have all these volatile situations going on, bro. I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't get it. He gave her a bunch of money and then turn around and cuss her out, and then give her money again and cuss her out. What?
Oh, Rectum, I think I'm ending now. I don't want to, but I am going to, because I have to help with the Dustbuster thing. Hello?
No, I'm calling.
What are you doing? You're calling somebody? What? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I didn't get to read the rest of your email. I have to end the show, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's not happy about that. It's like she loves to have her face in the camera. She loves to be the center of attention. And she decided to go out there and meet him. So she had to know that by doing that, she can't do as much camera time. And she is absolutely resentful in this moment that she's like, that she can't have her face on the camera right now because it bothers him.
Okay, it's all right. I was going to say, the insults in the chat were pretty weak. If we can pick those up, that would be good.
Insults towards...
Me.
What's that? What is that? Oh, you want me to hang up?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta hang up. All right, bye, Rectum. Okay, bye, everybody. Love you. So, what is that? Is that
Police.
for the cops?
Yeah.
Calling the cops
Yeah.
on me?
Yeah, idiot.
Can you hang up?
No.
You're calling the
Hang
cops
up
on?
and
Okay, all right, bye, everybody. Bye.
Fucking
Okay, I ended.
Elisa didn't try to stream again with Scorro after that. While Elisa was still in LA, Scorro's father visited him and officially cut him off for throwing so much of his money away without his permission. Elisa felt bad for Scorro, so
What? Wow. I didn't know that. I'm finding all this stuff out just watching your video, Kermit. My goodness. What a tangled web. So Zorro's father, who is the one who had the money, cut off his son because of all the money that he chose to give to Elisa. The father said, I'm cutting you off because you've given all this money to her. Like, you decided to act like a big baller with my money. Daddy said, like the bank of daddy is now officially closed.
she invited him to Thanksgiving dinner with her family. However, during the plane ride, Scorro threw a massive fit because of Elisa's dog Fozzie being with them, and the two nearly got arrested over it. After landing in Dallas for a connected flight,
You know what, Z-Scorro, listen to me. You're not a nice person. You're a bit of a jerk. You decided to get yourself wrapped around Elisa. You did. You're the one throwing your daddy's money at her to get her attention. You got her attention. You wanted her in your life. You may not be an animal person, but a lot of people are. But if you want to love a person or be around a person, if they have a pet, that pet is part of the package. Fur babies are part of the package. And if you love that individual or you want to love that individual and be with them, you have to accept the fur babies. And that is non-negotiable. You can't just look at a person and say, you belong to me, and then tell them, I don't like your dog, or I don't like your cat, or I don't like your bird. You don't have to like them. But respect the fact that that is like a little adopted child of the person. That's just the way it is.
They decided to drive the rest of the way to South Carolina instead. Unfortunately, Elisa didn't live stream the car ride, but according to both parties, it was nonstop bickering between them the entire drive. Eventually, they stopped at a hotel in Birmingham, Alabama, and Scorro decided to fly home instead of continuing the road trip. It seemed over at that point.
You know, with all the fighting that was going on with these two, even if he gave her $1 million or $700,000, at what point do you say to yourself, the juice ain't worth the squeeze? And give back as much of the money that that person gave you as possible and say, look, here's your money back. I'm going to go now. Let's just cut this off. This is ridiculous. We do nothing but fight. You curse me out. Like, at what point do you take back your pride? You give back the money and you take back your pride and your self-worth and say to yourself, the money ain't worth it. It's not worth dealing with this person. It's not worth the toxicity. It's not worth the volatileness. Let's just let this go. She should have given back whatever money he gave her, as much as she could, and walked away from this thing well before the incident in the car.
Elisa spent Thanksgiving with her family and then went back to Florida. Scorro would sporadically call in and donate, but nowhere near as much as he used to. Then in March, Scorro became more active again. The donos weren't what they were, but they were enough to keep Elisa's attention, even though she knew Scorro was close to being broke.
So she knew he was close to being broke because Daddy cut him off, and she didn't stop him from donating. She could have. She could have told him, hey, I know you're low on money. You've already given me more than enough. Please stop. Save that money for yourself. I'm fine. Maybe give him back part of the money that he donated to her. And that we'd have a little more, but just cut him off from donating. That way he's not getting down to his last few cents.
Elisa at this point was struggling to provide content she was happy with for her audience. So when Scorro offered to fly out and become her permanent co-host, she accepted and got...
Why would she accept that? She brought him on camera. You guys saw. She brought him on camera, and it was oil and water. He did not want to be on camera. He wasn't comfortable. He was angry with her. He was telling her to stop streaming, and she wants to make him into her co-host.
Got him an Airbnb. Before we continue any further, here is a quick word from our sponsor.
You know her from Cobra Starship and The Howard Stern Show. These days, Elisa Jordana is a renowned IRL.
Yeah, like, there we go.
Music scenes, weird.
You are. Whatever the fuck you are, like an adult.
After having trouble connecting with him through conversation, Elisa decided to turn the stream on. It didn't take long for things to get ugly.
Yeah, it seems like every time you put these two in a room or in a car together, things get ugly real quick because they have those clashing personalities. They're both really abrasive, egotistical people. And when it comes to narcissistic people, only one narc is allowed in the room at a time. If you got two narcs, they're both vying for attention and angry if they're not getting it.
Retard, we're going to the store.
Okay.
You're gonna cut this shit down,
Okay.
and you're gonna act like a fucking 45-year-old that you are.
I'm not 45.
Whatever the fuck you are.
I'm not 45.
Whatever the fuck you are, like an adult.
I know you're saying that
Cut it. What is it?
to make me feel bad.
Yeah, because that makes a huge difference if you're 46 or 44, whatever.
Come on.
You have the mental capacity of a 9-year-old. Who cares?
Bum donated $3. Scorro looking like Pepe the Frog.
This is what I want, right? This is I came here for this.
You know, Z-Scorro, if you don't like the live stream, if it's bothering you, if the sounds are bothering you, why not go in the other room? It seems like that's a pretty big place. Why not go into the bedroom and shut the door? You're putting yourself through torture for what?
Hold on. Let's get you some
The entire thing is shit.
No, I don't think that entire thing's shit.
Okay.
We would be doing. We would.
You know how you would know?
Huh.
You would have more than 100 views.
That's so dumb.
literally how it works.
Literally not how it works.
Really.
Literally, you'll be in the dust in 5 years. I will not even know you then. And I'll be huge and you'll still be nothing. Okay, so shut the fuck up.
You know, when he had access to daddy's money and she was getting that money, she was keeping her mouth shut. Did y'all notice that? Like at the beginning part of this video, she was keeping her mouth shut because she was getting that money. But the moment she found out that daddy cut off the bank account to this man and said, you don't have any access to it, you noticed how her demeanor changed? Like she's getting much more mouthy and she's talking back to him. It's because she doesn't have to worry. She knows that they're like that the faucet has been cut off and there probably isn't going to be any more. So she's like, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to give this guy a piece of my mind. I don't have to worry about losing out on $5,000 donos or $10,000 donos or $25,000. I could just feel free to be mouthy. I know that nothing is further is going to come from that end. So like this is where all this mouth is coming from.
Hello? Hello?
That was very nice.
What's going on? You'll be nothing asking your dad for 8% of your money, and I'll be like a huge YouTuber with 1 million subs, and I guarantee that.
Well, Elisa, it looks like you got your wish. Sort of. Are you much more known now? Yes, but not for the reasons that you think. That fight that you had with Z-Scorro, it went viral. So people know about you, but for the wrong reasons. You got a lot of eyeballs on you now, a lot of eyeballs on your YouTube channel, and not in a good way. That fight that you had with him in the car, it wasn't nice. It definitely wasn't nice. It showed you in a very negative light. It really did.
And I'll ignore you in the chat.
In a quarter mile, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Wellington Trace.
No. It doesn't matter what it is now because you've never achieved anything, so you don't know how. I got a record deal. I was on the radio. You've done absolutely nothing in your life besides being born to your dad. That's what. So that.
You know what, Elisa? Yeah, you've done all these things, and good for you. But what's the situation right now? Here's this man in the car. Let's be honest, you don't even like him. And to be honest, he doesn't like you either. I'm not quite sure why the two of you are in each other's company. Clearly, you don't get along. You're not having fun. There's no love there. So what was the point of the two of you meeting each other again and spending time with each other? Was it because he gave you money once and maybe you were hoping for it again? I'm not exactly sure. But you're the one that you sat there and he was giving you all this money, all of it, until he basically ticked off his father and dad cut him off. So you've done all these things in life, but rather than hold on to a bit of your dignity and your self-worth, you decided to put up with this man calling you in your show and cursing you out and calling you disgusting names. You put up with that for the sake of those donos. So all of that stuff you just mentioned, I did this and I did that. Well, if you're self-sufficient, if you're an entrepreneur, why put up with this? Why? I mean, make it make sense.
That's why you don't know. That's why you don't understand how things build. I'm nothing now. I've a very few viewers, but my viewers are women and families and people that matter.
Zero.
You have no.
Yeah, you know what, Elisa, if that's true, if most of your viewers are women, what is the message you are sending out to those women? What has been the message since Z-Scorro came into the picture? I'm a woman. I have a show where people can call in. I'm talking to people. And I am going to put my pride and my self-worth aside. And anybody who calls in that gives me a great enough amount of money often can call and curse me out and degrade me. I will allow myself to be degraded if you give me enough money. That's basically the message.
No, you're a zero, actually. You're actually exactly what a zero is. Exactly. You have nothing to offer the world. Zero. Nothing. You have nothing. You're not creative, you're not interesting, and you're not smart, and you don't have a good personality. So that's how I feel about you.
Even though Elisa says she was done, she went back the next morning and apologized. They streamed together again a couple of days later, and things went better even though Scorro lost a tooth while eating breakfast.
I'm charged and writing in my book. Rhymes, all the words past the margin. The whole mic I'm throbbing, mechanical movement, understandable smooth issue that miracles move with. The beats theme, play me at night, they won't act right. The fiend of hip hop has got me stuck like a half pipe. The mind activation, react like I'm facing time like crappy nation. With pins I'm embracing, wipe the sweat off my dome. Fit the phlegm on the street, sway Tim's on my beats, makes my cipher.
They could keep their private life. Sadly, those plans didn't last long as Elisa invited Scorro to her therapy session. During therapy, Elisa got a hold of Scorro's phone and saw text messages he exchanged with the woman by the name of Sarah.
This pertains to the fight that we're gonna watch. So let's listen to this part of the explanation provided by Kermit. Let's go back a little bit.
So that they could keep their private life private. Sadly, those plans didn't last long as Elisa invited Scorro to her therapy session. During therapy, Elisa got a hold of Scorro's phone and saw text messages he exchanged with the woman by the name of Sarah. Elisa got very upset after she saw Scorro spoke to Sarah the exact same way Scorro talks to Elisa. Scorro also sent thousands to Sarah over Venmo, and seeing this sent Elisa on a tailspin.
Elisa, that's the part that I'm literally like this. You guys have seen the interaction between these two people. I haven't seen anything that looks like love or tenderness or affection. I see two clashing, volatile, prickly personalities, just, like two magnets that don't want to stick together. They repel each other. So what was she really crying over? Was she crying over the fact that she was trying to corral Z-Scorro into a pen and treat him like livestock and hey, you're my cow and you're the one giving me milk and that milk better not be going somewhere else? Was she upset about that? The fact that Z-Scorro was going to another woman and giving money to another woman and not giving it all to her? And maybe she felt insulted by that, like, oh, I'm the one spending time with you, I'm here with you and I'm putting up with you, so why is the money going into another direction and she's not even here? Is that what she was mad about?
Stormed out of the session to her car and turned the stream on. After going to the mall and venting to her audience for a while, Scorro showed up and then this happened.
I called Sarah, you fucking bitch. I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Okay. You know what? There's a separate video I was going to watch. I was going to leave it for the end. But I haven't seen this yet. I didn't know this was part of the Kermit video. So I'm giving a warning right now for anyone who might be watching this. It looks like there's going to be some DV situations, physical situations. So anybody who doesn't want to see it, please just fast forward for those parts. I don't want you to get upset. I haven't seen this part of the video yet. I've only seen the fight in the car, so I thought that's where the physical stuff happened. But apparently she started with it beforehand. So we got to press on. This is part of the story. But if you don't want to see anything that looks like DV, if something like that triggers you, please turn off the video now. And don't watch it. I certainly don't want to upset or trigger anyone.
Sorry.
And she's doing this on live stream. She's not even turning off her camera. She's got a live stream going. Like she's showing this on her phone. This is not normal behavior. Not only are you doing something that you have to know is wrong, you're committing battery, you are putting your hands on somebody, you're doing it in front of people, and you're not taking a moment to pause to think about how wrong that is. Like you're just looking at it as what, shock entertainment? It's not funny. It's not funny. I don't care if you've got a channel or not. This is not the way you behave.
Sparta.
No, you
were with
were
Sparta.
I got all
You
your
were-
texts are in my Discord. All
Okay.
your texts to her. All the same shit you say to me. You say to her. You both are good. Okay, I'm just talking to him. You want to go to jail? Not really, no. Okay. No, it's not okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
Like
That's
she's
right.
got a police officer in front of her. Turn the doggone camera off. So I don't know what the police officer saw a little bit of what's going on from a distance and came over to see what was going on. But you can see clearly that Elisa is the aggressor. She's the one getting handsy and putting her hands where they don't belong.
You're lucky that your hand didn't hit him because regardless of what
Yep.
he said,
So the police officer just said it. She goes, "You're lucky that you did not put your hand on him, because if you had, I'd be putting you in cuffs right now." She came that close to getting arrested.
I'm sorry.
Can I
Get
go
me off
grab
that
my
camera.
son?
Okay, you're not on it. You're not on it.
No, get, she's
No,
the police.
I'm
Listen.
sorry. I'm regardless of what had just happened here. If you had hit him right in my presence, regardless if you I didn't. Be quiet and listen to me. No matter what he said, you would be going to jail. Do you understand?
All
You
right,
must not
all right,
step
that's
over
fine,
her.
that's fine, this is serious. Elisa, calm down. I was asking,
good.
can I go grab my son?
You can grab your son here.
Exactly.
You can grab his stuff.
So
and
she
we can
was
go home.
angry at him because she found out that he was talking to another woman. You know, like emotions are high. She's very angry. She's very upset about that for whatever individual reasons. To the point where she's nearly going after him in public. A police officer just happened to be standing very close by, saw everything going on, watched it happen, and then came up and said, "You are extremely lucky that I didn't see you put your hand on this man, because you'd be going to jail." So Elisa is upset, and she got a warning from this police officer. So she had that close call where she could have gone to jail right then and there. And that should have, you know, calmed her down and made her realize, hey, I'm doing too much. I need to walk away from this situation. I need to walk away from this person. My emotions are high. If I stay near them, something's going to happen. But she didn't do it. So after this incident, there was another incident in the car. And that was the one that she went to jail for. She got a battery charge.
That's what he can do.
Okay.
I have his stuff. I could take him to his stuff. And he can take his stuff and take your anger down a notch because you had hit him in my presence. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the bad topic. Well, I should talk about it. No, I said I'm going to stop talking about it. Okay, good. Yeah. Because that's ridiculous. Okay. And I hope your channel caught that bad perception of you. That's not very nice. Okay. No, it's not okay. You ever been cheated on for 2 years with a 20?
You know what, Elisa? Cheaters suck. Okay, cheaters do suck. But even if somebody cheats on you, that does not give you the right to put your hands on them. It doesn't give you the right. And I don't know what goes on behind the scenes with yourself and Z-Scorro. Like I said, it's evident the two of you do not have meshing personalities. It's evident that there's not real, honest, spiritual connection and emotion between the two of you. It's about money. What connects you is money. He has money. You want access to it. He gave some to you. Maybe you're hoping he'll give you more later. You're holding on to him for whatever reason, maybe to add controversy and drama to your show. But in my opinion, the juice ain't worth the squeeze because it leads to situations like this if you clash too much. But the reason why I'm jumping into this rabbit hole, y'all, is because, and I'm not trying to make this about me. When you think of a DV situation, you think of a man hurting a woman. But men being hurt by women is rarely talked about. Women can be just as abusive to men as men are to women. Abuse can take many forms. It could be anybody. It could be any gender. It could be any sexual identity. It's not just limited to one group It could be anybody, anywhere. But there's so much focus on female victims. There's not as much focus on the male victims. And when I saw the clip of her in the car with Z-Scorro, she committed battery. She committed sexual assault. I'm so sorry. Physical assault. DV. Completely my bad there. Not SA. She popped him and she hurt him. Like it was no big deal. Like she just reached out and popped him and then went back to the camera like completely normal. Like she'd done it before. And that is so disturbing. It's so disturbing. How like she just snapped back to the camera like, oh, this is no big deal. Like we do this all the time.
20-year-olds Mexican? I doubt it. Into okay, all right, I'm just telling you that's because I really don't want to talk to you anymore. You understand? Nice talking to you. Have a nice day. I called her and I spoke to her. She was very boring, of course. No, I saw all your texts. What a retard.
And Elisa's mouth with that R word. So not only is Z-Scorro bad with the R word, which should not be said, but she's also bad with the R word. I mean, birds of a feather, I guess. They're both nasty, rotten people that seem to mirror each other. Maybe that's the connecting point. Oh, and here we go. So after this high energy, volatile situation where she nearly came at him in front of an officer, this is the part that went viral. And I'm going to give another trigger warning, a warning of DV for anybody watching this video. It's about to happen. And trust me, it's bad. So if you don't want to see it, if you don't want to hear it, I urge you to turn this off because it's really bad. She reaches over and she pops him in the face. Just letting you know. It gets bad. It gets really bad. So turn it off now if you don't want to see it. Please.
As you can see, Elisa is in a completely manic state at this point in time. The fact that this cop told them to get in the car together after this incident shows the stupidity of Florida police officers.
I agree. Maybe the police officer couldn't do anything because nothing had occurred in front of them, like no crime was committed. So, like, I don't know about law enforcement and cops and like how they should act in different situations, but I don't think it's a good idea for two people where the energy is high and there's anger and there's an argument and it's gotten nearly physical for them to be in the same vehicle together. Especially if one person is feeling betrayed and cheated on. I just can't see how that can turn out well, and it didn't.
The cop should have done her job and made sure they stay separated. Instead,
well, I don't know if there's anything that the cop could have done. It's not like she could give one or the other a ride somewhere. She's not a taxi service, but like I would have stayed there and go, hey, can one of you get a taxi home? Can one of you get a ride? Because I don't think it's a good idea for the two of you to stay near each other.
They go in the car and things would escalate further. Here you can see Elisa start striking Z-Scorro.
Like this situation right here is so dangerous. She's in a highly volatile emotional state. She is upset. She is angry. She is stressed out. And she's the one behind the wheel. She's the one driving. So she's already upset and she's behind the wheel where she should not be. You don't want to drive when you're feeling like that because that can easily lead to having an auto accident. On top of that, she's doing distracted driving, having a live stream going at the same time. So her eyes are not going to be on the road. It's halfway on the road and the other half of the time it's waiting for people to call in and paying attention to that and having the camera on. Her focus is not entirely on the road where it should be.
I want to state officially on the record that Elisa is extremely wrong for this, and she absolutely deserved to have assault charges pressed against her.
I agree. She did. She absolutely did. Like, she was the aggressor. She was the aggressor back in that parking lot. She nearly came at Z-Scorro. Like I said, he's not a nice person. You guys have seen that in this video. He's not a nice person, but it doesn't matter if he's nice or not. No one has the right to put their hands on anybody. It doesn't matter if they cheated. It doesn't matter if they lied. You still don't have the right to put your hands on them. If you're feeling a certain kind of way, if you're feeling kind of violent, you should walk away from the situation and the person and not go back. Don't approach that person until you've calmed down and you can look at things from a reasonable point of view. But she's got this live stream going, and I don't know what she thought she was doing. But she was the aggressor, and she made the first move to be violent.
So I'm just going to send you like 6 months of.
Okay, again, trigger warning. Trigger warning for anybody watching this, please. I'm telling you, if you don't want to see any kind of DV, turn this off now. It's about to get really, really ugly.
Texts of your nudes and, you know, different sentences that he.
Sir, I'm sorry about this.
Don't talk.
See, he didn't even do anything. And she straight up just smacked him. And she's driving. And she's doing this in front of a live stream in front of people. Her need for attention and clout is so large. And she feels so bold being in front of that camera that she's going to actually commit battery on camera with everybody watching, like it's completely normal, like it's completely okay. It's not okay, Elisa. And I'm glad you got arrested over this. I really am. He's not a nice person. He's nasty to you. But if you're feeling a certain kind of way about him, you should have gotten away from him. You were warned back in the parking lot to keep your hands to yourself, and you didn't. So you went to jail, girl, and you deserved it.
Don't fucking talk.
Idiot.
Yes, sir. We're really sorry about this, sending him your way today. So don't worry.
Now, here's where the debate starts. If you were in Scorro's shoes, how would you react? Do you just sit there and take it? Do you wait?
Z-Scorro is a bit of a hothead. From what I've seen, he's a bit of a hothead. He's got kind of an aggressive nature. He's very quick to anger, very quick temper. Does Z-Scorro have? And what she just did was not only physically hurtful, it was humiliating and degrading. And that's going to make you feel a certain kind of way. Should he sit there and take it? Absolutely not. Should he be able to defend himself? Absolutely. But I think the right thing for him to do would be to tell her, pull over. I want to get out. I want to leave. You know, walk away from the situation if possible. You know, because being next to somebody who does something like that, it's only going to escalate further. It's only going to get more and more ugly. And his reaction to her after she hurt him, it was justified in a way. He was defending himself, but I think even with that, he went a little too far. So they both did a little too much. Like, she was the one who put her hands on him, and that was wrong. She started it. But he stayed in the situation and he defended himself. But they both got way too aggressive with each other, way too aggressive. Hence the reason why they should not have gotten in the car together to begin with, because tensions were high. Anger is high, and they're both such explosive people.
Wait until the car stops and jump out?
Look, like she's not even done. Like, one smack isn't enough. She's going to go in for a second one.
Do you hit back? Well, this is the choice Scorro.
And one thing I noticed about watching this footage, when she smacked him, she smacked him in the mouth. It looks like there was blood on the inside of his mouth.
Made.
She's not your age.
See, like, she's going in. She's going in again, and grabbing onto his ear. So the smacking in the face wasn't enough. We're going in for the ear too. And he told her, he warned her, like, don't put your hands on me. Do not put your hands on me. He warned her, and again, he's a hothead, and his reaction is going to be very, very extreme. And they're doing this while she's driving. So let's recap. She got in the car with Z-Scorro. She's doing a live stream, which is distracted driving. She's very upset, which is dangerous driving. She's next to a person that she's very upset with. And she decides that during this time of doing the distracted, dangerous driving, that she's going to take her eyes off the road to assault somebody while the car is in motion. And part of what he's doing is defending himself, but he is doing a lot. He is doing a lot. But this is so dangerous. Neither one of them are even thinking about how they're reacting to each other and potentially hurting other people on the road. They're just thinking about their own anger right now. He's trying to get her to pull over. But so she started off being the aggressor and smacking him. And now she's saying, oh, stop, I'll stop. I'm sorry. Now that he's defending himself and he's basically just not putting up with the nonsense, now she's changing her tune.
Pull over, dumb.
No, please don't. I'll stop. Okay, I'll stop.
Pull over.
Okay,
Pull over, dumb cunt.
Like this is really hard to watch, y'all. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. This is really hard to watch. And I promise that if I cover any more of Elisa, like this is the worst of the worst. Like they don't have physical altercations like this. This is like the big one. This is the nasty one. The rest is just like arguments and such. But I just wanted to show you like the dynamic between these two. Obviously, it's not good.
No, call 911, Sarah. Call 911.
So at this point, like he's already gotten his point across. He's defending himself. Like if the car is stopped, he needs to take the seatbelt off, get out of the car, and get away from her. Like continuing to grab onto her and grab her hair, that's really not necessary. Just get away from her. She got the point, dude. Like you're angry, you're not going to put up with it. Just get away from her. Get away.
No, please.
Call 911.
Wrong to hit him in the first place by her hair for over 30 seconds while she pleaded for him to stop, looking like he's trying to break her neck, attempting to pull her out of the car. There is no justifying that.
Yeah, that's way too far. If somebody has hurt you, you are allowed to defend yourself, but that's an extreme reaction. Not necessary. I understand he's angry. I mean, she did pop him in the face. That hurts physically. It's degrading. It's humiliating, especially if you're doing it in front of a bunch of people. And he, like I said, he's a hothead. It's not going to help make the situation better, but they both handled things badly. They both did. They both went too far.
Scorro on Discord is always talking about curb stomping people, and I have zero doubt his intent here was to stomp Elisa out if he was able to pull her out of the car by her hair.
Like, I don't know what his intention was, but I hope that after this stream that they stayed away from each other. I mean, because how do you come back from this? You got two toxic, volatile, violent, hot-headed people that do not get along, that really do not like each other. Once things have gone to this level, why associate with them? Let them go.
The fact is, if Scorro was able to pull Elisa out, then she would have gone to the hospital instead of jail. Thank God she overpowered him and got away. Then his pansy ass ran back to the car after civilians got involved, and then was classified as stealing Elisa's car. This car is registered under Elisa's name. She brought it before she met Scorro. You have no right to jump in another person's vehicle and take off after any sort of incident. The cops were called and they arrested Elisa. Again, Elisa deserved it, but the fact that they didn't arrest Scorro as well, it truly shows how inept Florida cops are. They even told Scorro to drive Elisa's Jeep back to the Airbnb. Think about that. Imagine if I'm driving around and then I get in a fight with someone walking down the street, get my ass handed to me, call the cops, and then the cops arrest me and allow the guy who beat me up to take my car. What kind of purge level shit is that? And get this, Scorro doesn't even have a fucking driver's license.
So what was he doing driving the car? Isn't that kind
Anyway,
of illegal?
Elisa was charged with misdemeanor assault and spent the night in jail. She was released the next morning and has since given small statements to TMZ and the New York Post. She seems to be doing okay. As far as Scorro, he's been nonstop posting in Elisa's Discord server ever since the accident occurred, defending his actions and showing zero remorse over what happened.
So if that is her Discord, why is he allowed access to it? Why can't she kick him out? Why has he still got access to her Discord? I'm sorry. Somebody touches me like that, screw you. You're out of my Discord. You're lucky you don't go to jail. But what? None of this is making sense to me. Had this awful incident, and she's still letting him in her Discord? Why?
I don't know what is next at this point. It is my sincere hope that Elisa and Scorro stay away from each other.
I hope so too. It just seems like that is a very volatile stew.
I would also like to see Scorro have charges pressed against him as well. I don't know if either thing will happen, but thankfully nothing worse occurred during Elisa's live stream. It was ugly and brutal, but everyone is physically okay. That's the most important thing. Until next time, my name is Leaf, and I appreciate you for watching.
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? Yep, that is an introduction to Elisa Jordana. That was the one that I wanted to cover, and I'm sorry if it was a bit shocking, but she is a toxic horror cow. I thought that Naked and Laughing was bad. This one takes the cake. She really does. I think as far as DV and physical violence, I think that was the worst of the worst. I've looked at her content. I don't see anything resembling that through the rest of her videos. Like, I just wanted to, let's just get that out of the way first and give some backstory in the process. So when I start to cover her more, you guys will know more about her and why I'm covering her. So what do you guys think? What do you think about Elisa? You know, that this whole situation with her and Z-Scorro it's a lot, isn't it? It absolutely is. She's a trip. She's a clout chasing, money grubbing woman, and no good can come from that. But I look forward to diving more down that rabbit hole. And I'm going to leave a link in the description to link back to Kermit and Friends Zone, the video, to give proper credit to them because they deserve it. They put this video together. I'm just learning about Elisa. I'm just jumping down this rabbit hole. It may take a while to learn a lot more, but want to jump in and introduce you guys to Elisa. So let me know what you guys think of this person and this content. Be very happy to hear your input. Until the next video, please take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.